Of the oil. See if I can do a little drop, drop, drop. It's not too thick. There are so many little bitty hairs that are growing on my scalp. I did. I grew an inch of hair in a month, but that's not even the story, y'all. Before we can formulate the oils, we got to look at the growth, right? I got a lot of things going on with my scalp. We're trying to activate areas that are where follicles are sitting dormant. We're trying to grow us back some edges, and we're trying to get thicker, fuller hair. So when I put these oils together for y'all, which I'm about to do, and if you stick around to the end, then there is a length check. I am proving that I grew an inch of hair, but I'm showing y'all in the beginning right here, this is more exciting for me than the inch of hair, okay? Because I'm actually growing in, areas that have not had any active follicles or cells or hair growing in 20 years. So let's get into the formulating of the oils. Let's go down to the kitchen and let's get into it, y'all. Before we get started, I just want to say, y'all, look, I am not a medical professional. I have been playing in oil since 2010. So I do have a little knowledge about the different oils and which ones will work for me. But if you're just getting started with oils, I would say choose one carrier oil and one essential oil. That's all you need. See how it works on you. Before you apply anything to your scalp, you want to go ahead and apply it to your hand and just see if you get a reaction to it. I have to put that disclaimer out there, y'all, because this is a very, very powerful oil. And I did not start out with 3 carrier oils and 3 essential oils. Build your way up to something like what I'm going to make today. Castor oil helps with my density, right? The hair that I'm growing, it's helping me retain that hair. Castor oil is really thick and it's sticky, and so that's why I wouldn't want to keep it in the summertime, because it can get kind of thick on your scalp, and we don't want oil buildup. So castor oil is number one. Then we did sweet almond oil in the it's a nourishing, smells so good, and that's helping with keeping my scalp moisturized, because in certain parts of my scalp, and it's actually the places where the least amount of hair is growing, my scalp is not very moisturized. It's dry. I have to keep that water on and keep that oil going. And the last carrier oil that I'm using is jojoba oil. And the amazing thing about jojoba oil is that it matches our strands of hair. And so it's a lighter oil. And those are my 3 carrier oils that I'm using. Now let's move on over to the essential oils. And the number 1 essential oil, which I spoke about earlier for me, is peppermint. Gonna get any other essential oil and you have the issue that I have, and most of us all have the same issue, and that is circulation to our scalp. The peppermint oil is going to help get that blood flow going to your scalp, which we all need, right? I think that the scalp massages and the peppermint oil in there is really helping keep the blood circulating and going. So number one essential oil for me is peppermint. It's soothing. It makes your scalp, it feels like your scalp is waking up when you use peppermint oil. Like I said, I'm partial because peppermint oil was the first essential oil that I was introduced to, and lavender was number 2. And then I started getting into all of the other ones. All right, so the second essential oil that I'm putting in is one that I recently learned about, and that's on my growth journey, and that's rosemary oil, right? Now, this rosemary oil has actually been studied, right? And they've put it up against minoxidil. Now, for me, first of all, when I went to the dermatologist to check on this scalp, one of the first things she wanted to do was give me some Rogaine, y'all. And so what I realized was I'm going to be taking this forever. All right. And if I'm going to do something forever, I want it to be natural. So if I got to choose if I have to choose between something that is synthetic for me and something that will really, really help me and it's natural, it's going to be natural for me. So I chose rosemary oil, right? And so rosemary oils has all of these great properties. And what I'm using rosemary oil for is to keep me in the growing phase and to stimulate hair growth. It is going to help promote the follicle growth, and that's what I need. I need the promotion of the follicle growth, right? I'm trying to do this fast. I'm trying to do this quick. I'm trying to do it naturally, right? So that rosemary oil is everything. The last essential oil that I found out was tea tree oil. That tea tree oil, first of all, the smell is pretty potent. Well, essential oils, if this is your first video learning about essential oils, let me say this. Your carrier oils are going to probably be a lot more soothing, and your essential oils are going to be more productive. And so those essential oils are aroma therapy as well. So all of them are going to have their own very, very potent smells. The tea tree oil, when I bought it for the first time, I was a little taken back of how strong, right? I made a growth oil with it when I first did, and that was just too strong. So I had to learn how to play with tea tree. Tea tree oil is not to be played with, y'all. Okay, so take your time with the tea tree oil, but it's like a clarifying oil, right? It's going to help with the buildup on my scalp. It's going to help for a clear and clean, growing environment, and it's just going to clarify my strands as I grow my hair. That is not 5.5 inches. Okay, wait. All right, so that's about 4.5 inches in the front. 5. Yeah, we grew an inch. Okay. 4 inches at the nape of my neck. And then 5 inches. We have grown an inch of hair. Oh my goodness. 4 inches. 4 inches. And is on the 5 inches. The measuring tape. Here's the bottom. 4 inches. Goodness. That crown gave me a 1/2 inch. So 4.5 inches. 4 inches. All right, looks like we're about 4 inches all the way around. I suggest that you all go and learn about all the growth oils. This is just me formulating to give you guys a little bit of information of why I use these particular oils and my growth oil and how I'm formulating it. Okay, so now let's talk about how I'm using the oil. Let me let you guys see the consistency of the oil. See if I can do a little drop, drop, drop. It's not too thick. It's a nice consistency. I would say I use maybe a couple drops twice a day on the days that I'm using it now, because last month on my first growth oil, when I got 1 inch in a month and I got all of that growth, I was using the oil once a day or sometimes twice a day, and I was doing 7 to 10 minute massages every day with adding water. I found that after doing that for a month, it most definitely got my scalp going and got everything growing, right? Everything on my scalp is growing. There are so many little bitty little hair. There are so many little bitty hairs that are growing on my scalp that is amazing to me. But I did find that after 30 days of doing the oiling and the scalp massages and the water every day, that it felt a bit overstimulated. It was just like, woo, my scalp was overstimulated. So I would say do the oil every day for 30 days and start with one carrier oil and in situ oil. Don't say that Dawn and Net was out here getting your scalp on fire. And if it irritates your scalp, I would say use it as a pre-poo, right? So do your massage and then wash that thing out on wash day. You know, it depends on what you're trying to do. Y'all know it's emergency, 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 emergency. I'm gonna grow me some hair this year, so I gotta do all of the things that I need to do to grow this hair. It's an emergency over here. I say take the meat and then throw out the bones of what I'm talking about, right? I don't really have a whole lot of suggestions for y'all, but I definitely don't want you to jump into this oil if this is your first time mixing oils. But if you done played with some oils and stuff, and you understand all of the properties of this thing, this right here, this combination, I saw all them oils on my table. I got a lot of oils. I change out my oils a lot, okay? But for this growth oil situation, I really did some research and figured out which ones are going to help me like get to the goal. And y'all know the goal is 6 inches in 1 year. Okay, so we got castor, we have sweet almond, and we have jojoba on the carrier side. And then on the essential oil side, we got peppermint, rosemary, and tea tree oil. And that is the secret to growing this hair, y'all. do your scalp massages. Get your water going and get your oil, and it'll happen for me and it'll happen for y'all. So glad that y'all came. I love y'all. Oh, y'all showing me so much love. I appreciate y'all. I don't want nobody here that don't want to be here. So if you want to be here, join the journey, y'all. And I will see y'all next week.